I was raised in a home where there's some dysfunction, and a lot of homes are dysfunctional in today's time. But my mother was an alcoholic and prescription drug addict, and my father was pretty much a violent man. And so, starting at age 4, I started using food to feel better. And by the time I was in the first grade, I weighed 139 pounds. I was morbidly obese all my life as a little girl, as a preteen, as a teenager, and up till till the age I was 19 years old or 18 is when I lost the first massive amount of weight. So basically, my young life from 4 years of age until 18 years of age, I was morbidly obese. And around 18 or 19, I started losing weight, and from that point until 1972, I would lose and gain 100, 110, 120 pounds, and I did that 4 different times. And I would do that. I had eaten myself up. My highest weight was 280 pounds, and I had eaten myself up to being morbidly obese. And so what I would do is I would find these quick weight loss schemes to lose weight. Go on 500 calories a day or whatever, drink different things. I'd take pills. I'd do anything to lose the weight. And so I could lose it, but then I would gain it back within the same year. And so I did that over and over and over again. What I thought is if I could get thin, my life would be wonderful. What I made up is that my weight was keeping me from having the life that I wanted to have. And so by 1972, I was married. My husband and I combined 2 families. We had a blended family of 7 children. And we were both, there was like 2 addicts inside our house. He was a practicing alcoholic, and I was practicing an eating disorder, and I didn't even know what it was. So basically, we were doing the same thing, just using a different substance. And like I said, but this time I had eaten myself up to 280 pounds, and I was desperate. And I had made the decision if I was going to have to do something or I was going to have to kill myself. I couldn't live like this anymore. So, and I had 4 of my own very precious grandchildren and 3 precious stepchildren. But my weight was more important, how I looked was more important than just about anything in my life. So I had a friend that had the intestinal bypass surgery. It's the old-timey type. They don't even do it anymore. It was a very dangerous surgery to do. But she had the surgery, and the next week I made an appointment, and I went in 100 miles west of where I live here at Abilene. Here in Buffalo Gap. Had to go about 100 miles west to a small little town. There was a doctor there that was beginning to do the intestinal bypass surgery. And I had the surgery, and I had no idea that it was major surgery. When I woke up, I had tubes coming out of my body everywhere. What he did is he rerouted my intestines and in essence made me a straight gut. And what happened, everything I would eat would go through me. And so I could not absorb food, I couldn't absorb vitamins, calcium, but I lost lots of weight, and I lost it quick. I knew very little. I had no idea that what I had, compulsive overeating, was a disease. I did not know it was a disease that needed to be treated like alcoholism or any other addiction. And so consequently, I ate more after I had the surgery than I did before. I could not stop the eating. And how my body worked, how I lost the weight was massive diarrhea. And so I lost lots of weight, but I could not stop the eating. And then our bodies want to restore itself. And so one day that diarrhea began to slow down. My biggest fear in my life was gaining that weight back because I could not stop the eating on my own. I was still going back to diet doctors. I was doing everything to try to stop the eating. And so what I did to continue the weight loss was I got up in my little pea brain and I thought if the diarrhea was making me lose the weight, I needed to take laxatives. And so that started a 13-year of bulimia, and I did not know what bulimia was. But in 13 years, I was taking massive amounts of laxatives. My colon was shutting down, my liver was shutting down. I was very ill, and I still didn't know what the problem was. I still thought it was just about the food. And by the grace of God, I had a young man to intervene on me, and how he knew to recognize my symptoms is that his wife was recovering bulimic. He gave me the word bulimia. I'd never heard it before. And so, a long story short, he gave me a book that called Fat is the Family Affair by Dr. Judy Hollis, and she was opening an eating disorder unit in LA. And so, September the 19th, 1985, almost 30 years ago, I made my journey to LA and went into inpatient treatment. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but the best thing. And what I did there, I learned that I had a disease and it was treatable. And for almost 30 years, I've had the opportunity to treat it. And I made a decision that I was going to make my life's work helping other folks like me. And so it is possible to recover, but we first have got to get the problem identified and know that it is a problem that's not going away, needs to be treated on a daily basis, and we can recover. That's the good news.